What up, guys? It's your girl ManicMeeks, and I am back with more Disney Plus 30 Days of Disney Plus reviews. I'm so excited. So, if you're enjoying any content on my channel, gameplay, reviews, reactions, whatever I got going on, go ahead and subscribe. I'm here, you're here, let's be here together. And today, technically it's the 15th, but I've watched this on the 14th. I was just lazy in recording it because it was cold. So I sat in my bed. But for November the 14th, I watched Jungle to Jungle. I forgot how much I love that movie. I haven't seen it in a very, very long time. I actually forgot it was a Disney movie, even though clearly it says Disney's. I think I'm having it over here. Disney's Jungle to Jungle. Okay, so Jungle to Jungle stars Tim Allen, Martin Short. I cannot remember the kid's name who played MiMi Siku. A very, very young Lily Sobieski. Who else? Is there anybody else notable in there? The mom, I think she was in Poltergeist. But Jungle to Jungle is about a man who is traveling to a remote island to see his ex-wife to get, his current wife, to get her to sign the divorce papers, even though she legally left him, so that he can marry his new wife. And when he gets to the island, his ex-wife says that, hey, I left pregnant. Here's a son. And it's just, honestly, it's I don't want to say slapstick comedy, but it's just about a man being thrust into a father position with no want or experience for it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Martin Short gives an amazing performance. I love Martin Short. He is so funny in this movie. Tim Allen is pretty hilarious in this movie as well. MiMi Siku has some of the best comedic timing, and it's just the guy who played MiMi Siku is a really good actor because it makes you believe that he didn't know shit. That's what it did. But it was just a great story about loving family, no matter what shape they're in, if that makes sense. No matter what type of family, loving your family and just being okay with yourself. This is going to be one of these shorter reviews because it's not a lot to this, but I still laughed my ass off the entire time. I forgot how funny this film was. It was really, really funny. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you my scores for the movie. So, once again, I usually score by the cry factor, the laugh factor, and the heart factor. Very simple. Very, very simple. So, with the cry factor, I'm going to give this movie, because I tear up easily. I'm a toddler. I cry at everything. I'm going to give this a 1 on the cry factor. Simply because there are a lot of moments that I teared up on, and one moment I kind of cried on, even though I've seen this movie hundreds of times. We had the tape. That's how you know it was serious. We had actually the VHS tape of this. So we watched it all the time. And being an adult, watching it from a different lens, I still cried. Not like a baby, but I teared up and I cried on one part. So that gets it the 1 in the cry factor. For the laugh factor, I'm going to go ahead and hit that with a 5 because this movie is funny as hell. This movie is really funny, especially with that stupid ass spider, that big ass spider. No, don't nobody want that. MiMi Siku can have all of that. MiMi Siku can have every ounce of that. So that is a 5 on the laugh factor. I'm going to give it a 5 in the heart factor. Just watching Michael and MiMi Siku navigate this new relationship and watching like MiMi Siku get used to trying to navigate this new relationship in a completely different environment. This movie still would have been funny if he didn't leave the island and while they had some of these moments while they were trying to get to know each other. But the fact that he had to do all of this and try to navigate a new city, it just put a different spin on the getting to know you. And they had a lot of barriers they had to get through to get to each other, both of them, from MiMi Siku's side and from Michael's side. And not to mention that Michael had friends and family around him who also had to do the same thing, because now they have this kid who will probably be a permanent fixture in his life. So they had to get used to seeing them together as father and son, and seeing Michael as a father by himself, and just getting used to the idea that this guy who has never wanted kids now has a kid and doesn't really know what to do with them. So all of that is a great adventure in learning love, learning patience, and that's the reason why it gets a 5 on the heart factor, because at the end of the day, or at the end of the movie, all that is learned, and when they have to separate, they miss each other. They don't want to be separated from each other. That's how well it went. They learned and loved each other so much that when it came time for them to leave each other, it was a really sad moment. So that is my teeny tiny mini review. Literally this whole entire video might be less than 5 minutes. That's how short it is. But this is my review of Jungle to Jungle that can only be seen on Disney Plus. Disney Plus, so far, it's good. It's good. The only time it's dropped any type of service is when it's due to my internet, my shitty ass internet. Frickin' Spectrum. But other than that, it's a cakewalk. There are a few things I wish they could change on the site, but that's for the end of the 30-day thing. Alright guys, thanks for hanging with me, and hopefully I will catch you in the next Disney review. Bye! Ooh, I made a rhyme.